Interrupted Outdoors, your home for hearing the greatest outdoor stories, learning about the latest gear and tactics that will prepare you to experience the best of life in the outdoors.
So the next thing that we're going to go over is a pair of boots. So you can really just go to town on boots. There are tons of different options. You do not have to go with this pair. This particular pair is a pair of crispy boots, and they make mountaineering boots. There's other brands. There's, I think, let's see. Danner's a big one. Lowe's a big one. Kenetrac is another big one.
Yep.
So you just need to find the pair of boots that works for you. But it's really important to find something that has high ankle support to it and something that you can lace up extremely tight. So these have just an ankle support system to them. And you can see that when you lace them up with this little side clasp here, it really cinches this boot tight around your ankle. When you're side hilling, you don't want to roll an ankle. And when you're side hilling, you want these things tight because you will step funny, especially if you're coming out with weight and you make that step and you aren't fully anticipating what you're going to land on. You're going to go down. You're going to go down. Yeah. So it's nice to have some support here. These I've had for about 2 years. They are holding up great. I mean, I'm wearing the tread off of the bottom of them just a little bit, but I never felt like I was unsafe or slippery there.
Yeah, no, you can't. I mean, Crispy's a great company.
Yeah, they're good stuff.
All of their line. Do you know in particular which model those are?
Yeah, these are the Nevadas. Yeah,
okay.
And I did, for some reason, I got the insulated ones. I don't know why. I guess I just thought I was going to Colorado and I needed insulated boots. If you're hunting in September exclusively, I would just say, beef up on your socks a little and go with the uninsulated.
You're going to be putting enough miles on them.
It is. It's nice first thing in the morning, but after an hour, I'm like, I wish I had uninsulated.
You can definitely feel it.
Yep.
Right on.
So we've gone over the trekking poles. These are obviously nice for pack outs and stuff like that. I will say that if they are in your tent, they do not help you on a pack out.
And you got to listen to episode 20 to hear about that story.
So plan accordingly. Let's see. Cook system. So you do not have to go crazy with this. This is a relatively cheap Jetboil. I think I paid maybe $55 or $60 for this from REI. It is a little isobutane container and a burner. And this one actually doesn't even have the electric start on it. You got to start it with a lighter. So you might want to make that improvement. I would say that's worth the money because I got to carry a lighter with me. This is where I boil my water. This is where I cook ramen noodles in, you name it. Just a very simple cook system for you to then enjoy delicious meals. So these have come a really, really long way. I do have no affiliation with this company whatsoever, but I will say that Stowaway Gourmet makes some of the absolute best meals I've had, period. Not just backcountry meals. Like I would eat this. My wife's out of town, and I'd actually consider doing this. Yeah, I was like, that's
pretty lazy.
Yeah, I was like, this looks pretty good. So, I would say make sure you're getting some higher quality meals. Mountain House is delicious, and I eat a lot of it. But when you live off of that for 10 days, the ingredients in that and the high preservatives will absolutely wreck your stomach. So take a little bit of time to maybe infuse a higher quality meal in there, and I think you'll go a long way in how you feel in the long run.
I've told people with those meals that are prepared like that, also, if you're going on a long trip, try them, eat them, know what you like, and also know how it impacts your body and your digestive system. Because I've been around folks that have been very surprised.
Yeah, and know that you like it. I mean, some people have gone the healthy route, and they've gotten these meals, and then when they get there, they can't even stomach it.
Try them a couple weeks, months before. Just try one here and there. Know what you like, so when you're putting your whole pack together, you have something that you can actually be looking forward to.
Exactly. You will want to eat that when you come back, and even if you have bad food, you'll want to eat it. You just don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah.
In line with the kind of the cook system and the food is I'll go into water. So water filtration is huge. You are not carrying your water in with you. You're going to be filtering water constantly. It's a big chore to do.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've found that works best for me is just a Sawyer mini filter. And it works best for a couple of different reasons. One, it's light. Two, it's relatively inexpensive. You can pick one of these up for about $20 or $30.
Yeah.
You can pick a spare one up for the same price, and then you have a backup water system. The thing that you have to worry about with these is if they freeze. So at nighttime, I put them in a Ziploc bag, and I put them in the bottom of my sleeping bag because there is a filter on the inside of it, and if it freezes and that filter cracks, you will not know. It'll still work, but it will not remove any of the contaminants, and then you end up getting sick. But it's a relatively quick way, and it hooks to these water bags. So this is actually a dirty water bag. and it screws on to this, and then a smart water bottle, it actually has the same threading on it. So then I'll just fill this up and I'll just squeeze it and filter it from my cook system.
Right on.
Which works really well. This particular water bag really saved us a lot of time. I would say that if you're going to get, the Sawyer comes with water bags, and they're nice for just transporting water, but they only have an opening like this, which is hard to get out of a stream. So if you can find a water bag that opens up,
you can
like
collect
this, you can collect it. You will waste so much time filtering water. Water will be your nemesis the entire time, unless you camp right by water, which is not always possible.
You're going to find it.
Yeah, especially with us, because we were so high up, our water was about 400 feet below us, which was just a chore to go down there and get water.
Yep.
So that is making our life a little bit easier in that department. The next thing I'll show you is your communication. So you have to have a way to communicate with the outside world. Even if you don't like texting your wife, or you don't like texting your family, or you want to text your family, it really doesn't matter. But the main thing is if you break your ankle, you have to know that you can get somebody. So what this is a Garmin InReach, and it works off the, I'm going to get this wrong, it says it on here, the Iridium connected satellite net. But if you get in a bad spot, you can hit the SOS button right here on the side, and then you will be put in contact with the local authorities, and then they'll come and rescue you. So it is a subscription. You pay for the amount of messages that you want to send. So if you're not a big chit chatter or you're not a big talker, then
you caught some flack for that.
I did, actually. Yeah, because Brian's on the total other end of the spectrum. So Brian didn't, he might have sent "I'm alive" 4 or 5 times, and I'm chatting with my family. So I had the expensive plan, which I think
but it's a must. If you're going out there, you gotta have it.
But the good news is that the SOS service, the oh shit button service, is only about $15 for the entire year.
Okay.
So that is not a subscription. That's a one-time yearly
But
fee.
if you want to be having the text.
If you want to have all that. I want to say their basic plan is like $29.99 per month, and then you can end it when you leave. So really you're just tied in for 1 month.
Get it for your trip.
Exactly. Get it for your trip. And mine sits, if I'm not, I use it offshore fishing, and then I use it for Colorado, and then it sits.
Right. And about how much you have invested in that?
Minus
the subscription.
Yeah, I got that on Amazon for under $200.
Yeah, right.
And they make different models. This was a used one, but just keep in mind they all do the same. Or this wasn't a used one; it was a last year's model. But they all do the same thing.
Right.
If you get the next model, it might have a better topo map on it, or it might have a different function that this one doesn't have. I'm using it for quick text messages to the family, and I'm using it for SOS purposes.
Yep.
And it does have a topo map on it, but it's not very good. I'd rather use rather use Onyx or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I'm with you.
The last thing that we have up here would probably be game bags.
Huge.
You first of all, you want to use these because that means you killed something. But if you do kill something, you want really quality game bags. You don't cut corners on game bags, and they're not super expensive, so you don't really have to cut corners on game bags. These particular game bags are made by Caribou, and you can kind of see here. So this would be for an elk quarter. So in the Caribou game bag, you get 4 of these and 1 smaller one, which would be for your scrap meat, for your grind meat, your tenderloins, and stuff like that.
Right.
So they're super synthetic. They're very tough. They're very durable. They're not chipmunk proof. I'm not sure which one has a hole in it. One of mine has a hole in it.
But antimicrobial and
exactly. It keeps the fly, and it's for the flies. For those of you who don't know, if you kill an elk in September, there's going to be flies. So what you're really trying to do right off of the bat is limit their ability to lay larvae, lay eggs on your meat, and then if you can keep them off of it while you're cutting it up and you get them into these game bags, you're going to further protect it. To give you a little bit of an idea how it works, you kind of cinch the hind quarter down, you wrap it up, and you hang it, and then flies aren't able to come in contact with your meat, but air is still able to pass through here.
Right. That's so what's critical for cooling down.
Exactly, it cools it down, and what you're left with is a really hard crust on the outside of your meat, and then you will lose just a teeny tiny bit.
But I mean, you get into talking people that are used to aging meat and stuff, or if you just had a fret, it's that thin crust on there. That's no big deal, and actually, it's protecting that meat.
It is. It's protecting it. It's still cooling it down.
Yep.
So really, it seems like it's a little bit gear heavy, but you are going to need some basics to go into the mountains for even 5 days. You're going to need some stuff. But the important thing to take away from this is this was accumulated over the course of a couple years. you can go to an REI or to a Walmart and you can buy a tent. It may weigh a little bit more, but it's going to work fine. Now you want to make sure it's going to hold up in some wind and some potential weather.
Right.
But it will work fine.
Know the area that you're going to.
Exactly.
Get your gear out, test your gear, manipulate it, understand how it works, and then some basic things that you might even, if you need to fix something out there. Having your paracord
and then
having your...
I didn't show this, but this is just kind of a good thing to have on there. I just have a very basic toolkit. So I'll just go over some things really quick.
Yeah.
Super glue. Gotta have super glue. You don't know what you're gonna need to super glue. I have pyro putty. It's just a fire starter, just in case. Now there was a fire ban in Colorado this year, so we really didn't get to use it. Some waterproof matches. I have hot glue, because hot glue on a archery for your bow sight, for anything like that, you can just melt it down. When I had my other tent that had poles, this was actually still in there. It's just an emergency splint for a tent pole.
Yep.
So just things like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Just, you're always thinking ahead. I'll carry my Allen head. So this is every Allen head that I need for anything that's on my bow. Extra batteries, a lighter, and then I have some D-loop cord in case I have to tie a new D-loop while I'm in the field.
Right. Yeah, and those are emergency things that you hope you never have to tap into that bag, but you're going to be thankful you took a little extra weight with you.
A patch as well, a patch for your sleeping pad and stuff like that.
Right on. Cool. Well, Doug, hey, I appreciate you sharing this stuff. I hope this has been helpful for you, and definitely reach out to us through YouTube, through Facebook, through Instagram. When you're listening to the podcast, just reach out. Let us know what you think. We're going to be creating some more videos, help everybody to gear up, have what they need. And in the end, we want everybody to have a successful and safe hunt. So thank you for tuning in to Interrupted Outdoors. We'll see you next time.
Take care. Yep. Thank you.